Okay. Please work. Okay, please work. Let me do this test real quick. What's that clicking noise? I don't want any clicking noise right now. I just want a straightforward, smooth experience without any hindrance. Here's my water. It's working. It's working. I might need some music at this point because just setting up a live like this is tedious. What the hell? What's wrong with that? I can hear a random clicking that I don't like, and I don't want it to be a bug. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Are we good? Okay, there's no loop feedback. That's good. Am I in delay? No. Lip sync is good. A little lag, but it's alright. So can I fix stuff? Can I edit stuff whilst I'm live? No, I can't. It would appear I cannot fix things whilst I'm live. I apologize for 2 minutes, 2 minutes straight. 2 minutes straight. Just trying to figure out how to work this thing. Greetings, everyone. It is I, your one and only host, the Cosmic Jedi. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday. Okay, I'm just making sure this thing is working because it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get it going. Turn that off. Turn that off also. Okay, we're good. This might be another short live like I did yesterday, or I intended to do yesterday. That became a long 2-hour live. And I enjoyed the topics I discussed yesterday. I really enjoyed the Adam and Eve skit thing I was doing. That was fun. That was a whole lot of fun. And I intend to do more of those and do it properly, just like little sections of, what if Adam and Eve were talking like this, or what if Adam and Eve had this type of conversation. I think I'm going to avoid sending it to most of my Christian friends. I don't want to piss off people. I don't want to piss off people. I'm trying to get used to this on the camera live. Normally my lives are through the console, and that's just straightforward. I don't need to test anything. The console lets it run smooth. When I'm doing the live through my computer, it just gives me so much headache. You're finding the right gear to connect the mic to. Earlier when I was doing the test, there was a lot of massive hiss, like this screeching, piercing sound, just constant as well. Oh, dude, I'm sensitive to sound. Some people are okay with it. They don't mind certain background noises. Me, I said, I can't do a live where I'm here myself with a screech in the background. That would drive me el pollo loco. I wanted to talk about ADHD today, but maybe another time. This would be like the precursor to talking about it, or let me say my experience with ADHD, and then the questions I have about ADHD in general, or ADHD, yeah, in general. And then I'm very curious as to how people such as myself, brown people, melanated people, black people, Africans, so on and so forth, how they experience ADHD. I imagine it'd be different for everyone else, every unique individual being, let alone a collective of people based on their gene and then based on their location and environment. And then being a YouTuber with ADHD and an introverted, my thing stacks introverted ADHD or introverted neurodivergent or introverted neurospicy. Then when I started this channel and seeing all the other videos on YouTube where people were saying you should niche down and focus on one thing. And for those of you who already subscribe to this channel, you can tell I do a lot of things that I'm very, very passionate about. On the live streams, I do mostly gaming. Aside from live streams like this, I think I've only done this kind of stream like maybe 4 to 6 times roughly. I did once, I think on Team Geometrics, the other channel that I game stream on. Then I did a live again after I'd watched the Flash Trash movie, or the Trash Flash movie. That was a fun stream. I don't remember if I did the stream for Mission Impossible. I generally wanted to start doing that. See a movie, run, get back home straight from the cinema, turn on the camera, and then do a live movie breakdown discussion. No spoilers. That was my intention in the past. Like, well, that would be cool. So that way you don't have to edit stuff. And then if I want to really sit down and do a proper spoiler, then we can do a spoiler. But at least have a discussion with people who may have seen the movie. But I think it makes sense to, like, if a movie comes out on Friday, you want to see the movie on Saturday or Sunday or whatever day you see it. And then you see, because I want to make sure I do the movie review or live discussion on the same day. It makes sense that if a movie comes out on Friday, I go and see it on Monday, then we can talk. But normally, naturally, you're going to the cinema with your friends. I wanted to do the lives as if we had all gone to see it together. So that way, when I come back or when we come back from the cinema, whichever time, you know, whatever time we all see it differently, then I can sit down and talk and go, guys, you've seen it? No spoilers. Then we can all talk and be in the chat back and forth. That was my intention in the past, not knowing that the technology would be like, hey, you can intend all you want to, my friend. I am the god of tech. I'm going to piss all over your intentions. See, recording my video, editing, uploading is straightforward and easy. From my computer, or from the camera to the computer, and then going live straight from my console onto YouTube is easy. This whole setup should be easier, I think. I think it should be easier. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's how my brain works. Maybe that's how the ADHD part of my mind is like, all this should be seamless. With the onboard camera, it's another thing entirely. But I've got like roughly three gear setup: microphone, audio. Should I say receiver or audio interface and camera? And then maybe the fourth thing will be the computer. So you plug it in and connect, and it should all be in sync. Everything should be straightforward, smooth. But no, technology is like, oh, not today, sire. Not today. And I can't help but feel it's intentional. You can do all the Googling in the world, and you find out that there's still one aspect missing. Whereas I feel all technology should be so seamless. There's no headache. It's just like water, just flows, like air, just in sync. Whether one company made this brand, the other company made this brand, everything should just be in sync. Hold on. Let me charge my phone real quick. Give me a second. I don't know if you can see the R piece in the background, by the way, to my right side. Is it my right, or what is it? What angle is it? This side. I don't know if you, I don't know. I'll just point at it. Whatever angle the cameras flip me on, this is an art piece by the Constance Prince on Instagram. She's known as also the Constance on YouTube. If I do say so myself, let me pat myself on the back for giving us such a beautiful, beautiful title. I almost said nickname. I don't really do nicknames anymore. It's more like titles. You bestow people with titles. Actually, she's bestowed me with multiple titles. One of the best ones that I like so far. I mean, all of them I love. I shouldn't say one of the best ones. All of them I love. But the one that stands out when I'm about to do a rant or a breakdown. No, not breakdown. Like a rant. And I'm really pissed off about something. Is she dubbed me Tiger Jaw. Was it Tiger Jaw or Tiger Jaws? No, Tiger Jaw. It better be Tiger Jaw because I don't want to even get my own accolade wrong. Yeah, Tiger Jaw. Should I even put this live on Instagram? You and I both know how we feel about Instagram. That's another thing again with technology. I think maybe I'll do a live or a video about my ADHD experience with technology. It should work, but it doesn't. And I wonder if the people who fathom these ideas, who come up with these ideas off their head, like these really awesome, like when you look at it on paper, it's like you're like, that's gorgeous, right? That's sexy right there. I wonder if they're ADHD as well. Then they meet mediocre people who have the funding and then dilute their awesomeness. Like tech and gear shouldn't, everything should be like nature, seamless. When things started in original civilizations, everything was seamless. Everything was just, it works. This clicks, it just clicks. You bring this from that one and that one from this one, it just clicks. But now everyone's like, oh, it's my thing, man. It's mine. I'm going to start looking more into this dude that everyone really praises. Nikola Tesla. Everyone praises this guy so much. I'm going to start looking into him and see what his thinking was like. Because he comes across as this guy who just felt technology and invention and innovation shouldn't be a selfish thing. We should all work together to innovate and create. And I fully agree with that. If that was his true premise. And I also feel we shouldn't always have to invent and create all the time. Like every time, every century, or every whatever, just keep building. Don't make no sense. The fact that there are seasons in different parts of the world, for example, where trees shed their leaves, snakes shed their skin, amongst all other creatures who shed skin as well. So it's just a subtle way of saying we ain't gotta be doing too much all the time. You can just chill, and there's nothing wrong with chilling. There's nothing wrong with just being. We ain't gotta be farming all the time. Just be, man. Just chill, relax, and let nature do its thing. You ain't gotta be always productive all the time. Just chilling. Like when I started this channel, all the videos that I saw all the time, always got to upload all the time. Oh, I used to panic about that. Like if I go on my YouTube dashboard, for example, there are three things I used to look at. When you upload a new video, it has this countdown, how many views or how many views and what's the impression. Pardon me. Fun things about lives, boy. You be catching them burps, them farts, and those sneezes. Like I did a fat sneeze earlier on when I was doing a tester. Boy, that was loud. I haven't laughed at myself because here the way it echoed back into my earpiece through the back and back again. I was like, yo. Anyway, and it would show you how well your video has done or is doing after upload within the first 48 hours. That was the time window. And I used to always remember every 15 or 10 minutes, I would click on it. And I would ask myself why I was doing it, but I was like, not everything you ask question. I'll just check again. Okay, cool. 5 people have seen it. Nice. Do my thing. Maybe if I'm gaming, I could be fully immersed in my gaming. But if I'm not gaming and I'm watching other videos and whatnot, I'll just come back again and go, okay, cool. 10 people have viewed it. Okay, cool. Leave it alone. Come back again. 12 people. So from 10 to 12. And I found that to be very, very annoying after a short while. I was like, yo, what are we doing? Did you enjoy making the video? Yeah, then upload the darn thing and piss off, man. So there's this little arrow that drops down and it shows you the stats. So what I started doing was I just turned off the arrow so it just hides it. And it's like I've done the work. I've birthed the energy and do your thing. However way it navigates, do your thing. What YouTube's done recently is they've deleted that button. So now once you go to the dashboard, you see it. There's no option to turn it off. I was like, yo, you sly mother. You sneak. Why would you? It was a very smart thing to do, especially when you used to have conversations in the past, especially with these tech shows where or put your phone down, have a 15-minute break from seeing notifications. Try turning off your notifications unless you're on WhatsApp. So if it's a family group thing, you can leave that on. But when it's your friends or someone sent you a post, try putting those on mute or have a timeout feature or function for these apps and whatnot. And I thought YouTube had adopted that by having that drop down button, but now it's not there. I've even searched, refresh, quit the browser, open it again, try a different browser with the same login, same thing. It's now just fixed. You go to the dashboard, it's letting you know, hey, that video you uploaded like 5 minutes ago is crawling. It's taking time. Hmm? It's taking a lot of time. Are you sure you really put your energy into it? And YouTube be slick. They be telling you post stuff, do what you want. Remember when I did the other video about being ADHD on YouTube? Someone posted in a comment and said that's one thing I love about YouTube is the you in YouTube because it's all about you and your community and who you find. I'm like, yeah, on paper, but there's this subtle. That was a good video, you know. It was cool. Could have done better. And I don't want to be here doing viral. Oh my! Even here now to just irritates my ear. Oh, it's a shame that video didn't go viral. You think I release energy to go viral? Your father, huh? Anyway, and it's like that video was really cool. But if you had spoken on this topic, if you had done it like this and like that, that's why I made that video and asked, is YouTube about the whole, like the dude in the comments said, it's you. It's all about you, buddy. You know, you're doing a lot of this, but you're not showing. There's no show and tell or show and display. You know, it's a lot of little. Hmm? There's many things I noticed on the experience itself. I'm like, how have you guys been running for so long, and you haven't fixed these bugs from day one? Like playlists, for example, your personal private playlist and then public playlist, they're all under one droplet or one drop down feature. That I find to be very, very bizarre, especially when you are a full-fledged YouTuber, meaning you've made an account where you are uploading videos and you're also using this account that you use to upload videos to watch videos. Some people have two. They have one where they just use to watch videos and interact with other people, and they have the one where they use to upload the stuff. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. I wouldn't say one or the other is better, but you would assume the AI should have this intelligence baked into it to give you the option, especially when you're the primary user of the channel, to say, hey, you've got like a plethora of playlists. You got like 1,000 playlists on your personal. It'd be smart for the AI to split your playlist drop down to personal and private. Oh, no, private and public. Yeah. Or whichever format. Even have the custom option to say, do you want your playlist to drop down as one gargantuan long thing? Or do you want to have it as a selection of all the playlist folders you've made publicly and then a separate section of the playlist folders you've made privately? Just makes sense. Maybe it's an ADHD part of my mind again. It just makes sense. And YouTube has been running for a very, very, very long time since I started, since I created this channel and never uploaded and I decided to say, you know what, let me start this YouTube thing. I've been itching to do it. It's not changed. And I don't know if people have gotten tired of discussing it with YouTube in the community tabs and whatnot. But if you've been around for eons, either people don't find it to be a problem or they've complained about it and nothing's been done about it. That sucks. And I'm inclined to say it's that. You've complained about it and people they'd be like, it can be hard to fix. If you can change that little drop down arrow that I mentioned, if you can remove that and make this thing a permanent fixture when you go to the dashboard, it's like, hey, it's been 2 hours, man. That video was struggling. But if you made a video on this topic, I'm like, which one do you want, YouTube? Are we here to just be, or do you want us to be like this? Then they have this little search Suggestion suggestion suggestion. Why am I struggling to say that word? Suggestion tab. Suggestion tab. That one I don't mind because then you can just look at different topics. You can type in your preference, movies and whatnot, and it'll pop up. And the movies too thing is a struggle as well because I like the balance of you get to watch and review a movie live as you not live. Well, you record and edit and upload. But imagine watching a 2 hour movie, right? And you have to edit that down to roughly 50 minutes, maybe to an hour, but you can't upload the full content onto YouTube because of the copyright rules. I don't know what rules and laws behind studios, Warner Brothers, Paramount. Hey, anybody reading all the long text and what, even if you did it in video format, which would be cool though, we can understand by watching and hearing these things, it'd be just smoother. It's one thing to say terms and conditions in small print, which I find shady. Just let people know this isn't, that, those, thee, thou, thus. We gravy baby, got it all smothered. Straightforward. Because it's YouTube, I'm surprised there aren't a plethora of videos explaining certain things that some of us don't know. Even when we ask questions, just someone posted the link in the comments right here because it's YouTube. Imagine coming to a platform where it's all about videos and you're given text to read. I'm not saying I'm illiterate, but I'm just saying some of us who have it, do find it hard to read long text. Some people can swallow that nicely, easily, without hassle. Some of us struggle to read long text. Some of us have dyslexia. Not victim, not crybaby, and just stating things as they are. For a platform that is all about uploading videos, you sure have a lot of text, buddy. A lot of text. It'd be cool if somebody read out the freaking terms and conditions. Of course, you should read it, yes. But still, you want options. Options is it's what life is all about. Nature is options. You have your apple, your pineapple, your guava. Options, plenty. Tall, short, thick, thin, plenty options, endless options. So why would you are a YouTube, you are a video channel based system program, you won't give options? Strange to me. Anyway, so on this journey so far, it's been interesting learning how to just learning to be. I almost said learn to be me, whatever that is. The video I did yesterday, I'm just learning to be me thing is hmm, 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 is wow. Wow, you have to strip your name down. I've gone as far as I'll be counting numbers in my name. No joke. The whole life path thing. You add up all the numbers of your name, the letters of your name, and the numbers they represent to figure out your life path. Yeah, I've had to do that just like different attributes. Again, one of the conversations I had yesterday in the live was if I treated my life or life in general as a game, it's because I'm a gamer. And I was talking about New Game Plus mode, where you bring your previous perks from your previous playthrough into a new game, hence New Game plus what you've, I guess, picked up or earned or completed or achieved from your previous or your first playthrough. So I was using that analogy to say, like, to bridge the gap between when we're given information, it seems to always be external rather than an innate knowing. You just know, or you get to experience it without having to always be told something. Sometimes I don't mind being taught something, but sometimes I feel the way information comes towards us as people is that we're told rather than shown or taught. There's a loving way you can teach someone something where they would just get it and they'd be like, yo, I was struggling for months and you just came out here 5-10 minutes and I got it like that. We much love. And it's just the sweetest way. How many times do you need to get stung by a bee to realize bees can sting? Or to get bitten by a snake and realize, oh, them motherfuckers bite. It's just there's soft ways. I feel there's certain ways I've come to learn that I feel nature in its primary. I feel her ways naturally or primarily are soft ways. Sometimes hard ways, but mainly soft ways. If you're stubborn like a goat, that's cool because the goat exists, and if someone can reference you and say, "Oh, he or she it takes a while to pick up information because they're stubborn like a goat." I don't think it's a bad thing. It's when you're consistently doing stubbornness like a goat. Then I'm like, oh, that's a malfunction entity right there. That he or she ain't picking up that frequency. And even that is, I was like, I don't even want to tackle that one right there. Anyway, and I've gone over the place, but the way I talk, my thing's always connected. If you take time and you're patient and you follow me through, it's always connected. Because I'm just looking into the ether right now, and I'm like, okay, touching that one, bring it back. But that's how my ADHD thing works. And I was in the past, I've been trying to control it and be all streamlined, but like, nah, it ain't working for me. Try to script videos, no sir. That one, oh, that one used to burn me a lot. Scripting things used to burn me a lot. But again, hence, like I said earlier, I learned to just be as I am. So when I figured out you could do your life path number by adding up your letters and your names, what came out was really fascinating, because it's like, oh, that makes more sense now, understanding that my life path number is so and so. Now, I don't feel comfortable sharing it yet. Eventually, I probably will. But right now, no. I haven't even told you guys my age, let alone what year I was born. I won't be sharing that. It's something I just feel I want to keep for myself for now until due course. But I would I almost said suggest or advise, or what's the word I was looking for? There's another word I like. Encourage you guys to check out learning about your life path or life path number through the whole. I think there's 3 ways to do it. Your all your names, they're your first, middle, and last name. And sometimes there is a teaching out there that says the one you are dubbed by your parents. I've done both. The name given to me by my father as he spelt it and wrote it. Pardon me. There it goes again. The how it was written on the date of birth, on the oh yeah, birth certificate, and then how I would like my name to be spelled, how I spell my name, because my birth name is spelled in 2 ways. Meaning it's the same, but it's spelled in two different ways. Just like just yeah, two replacements, 2 letter replacements in each spelling. So the 2 spellings still came out with the same number plus the middle name and my last name. I was like, okay, that one makes sense. And the only slight variation is when I changed one name and replaced the other name with the name from my grandmother on my mother's side. It came up with a different number, but still correlated with the same life path number. I was like, okay, now that's mega fascinating. So I'd read the attributes. There's one about leadership. I'm like, I get that one, even though I don't run into leadership role. I don't, like I want to be the one to lead, like willingly. Sometimes it's like unwillingly, like, I guess I gotta be that guy. But sometimes I'm like, if anything, most of the times when people say, oh, where we going? I'm like, why are you looking at me for? There's about 50 people in here. Ask them, where we going? I know I'm not going where I'm not going, but asking where we're going, you on your own with that. The, there are other things that come up as well. Creativity, that one peaks every time I read and watch different videos on this particular life path number. Creativity is always like dead center. Is sometimes I'll use these 2 batteries then. You know what? No. Okay, yeah, use the 2 batteries. Sometimes it'd be like they'll be side by side. Is it in focus? It'd be side by side. But sometimes it's like, creativity be right there. When I see the videos that do this, creativity and leadership, I'm like, yeah, that's the one I like. The other one saying leadership, I'm like, I don't know. I don't like noise. Let's go here. But why do we need to? I beg. If you want to fly, fly, fly. Who am I to stop you? I beg, please go. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy. Go swim. In fact, sleep. On that, whatever you want to do, do. Make lead. No. But I've come to realize, though, low key, there is that part of me where I'll do a flashback at college and uni, well, mainly college. I used to help a lot of my classmates with Photoshop on our computers. And I enjoyed the experience, but after a while, I used to think to myself, it'd be cool to have someone else to do this with me. I mean, we had the teacher, but teacher would do the rundown based on the curriculum. And after that's done, I'd be like, what he was trying to say is, then I'll be at everybody's desk. And I enjoyed the feeling of helping people in my class. and you'd hear the sigh of relief, like, "Oh, Roger was doing a good job teaching, but I don't know what you did." I'm like, "I guess I was translating what he said because I picked it up too as well." But it wasn't like, "Oh, I'm faster than you guys. You guys are slow." Because there were some other things he was teaching in class. I'm like, "Hey, yo, what did he say?" Because again, like I said in my yesterday live, my schooling experience sucked. It sucked. I might even stick with that subject for a little while. It really sucked. It's when I got to college, I was like, ah, now I can flex these sexy wings. Look at these feathers. You think look at it's not two wings, it's about six wings here. Is that what they call a seraphim? A ser- Seraphim. Is it seraphim? I'll Google that later. That's the angels with six wings, right? In the whole angel family. There's a cherubim, and whatnot. So that leadership aspect of my life path, I'm like, okay, back in college, I could see where that correlates. And then I'm a firstborn of my family, firstborn of my mother. My father already had a different child before he met my mother. Then I'm the first grandson of my mother. Yes, I am. Is that correct? Am I saying it correctly? Even though my mother is the second born, out of the first son, firstborn, and the first grandson or first grandchild. Yeah. So those things stack up, and then the pressure of, oh, you're the firstborn, you got to lead your siblings and you got to show them the way. I'm like, show them. I just figured out you can pee sitting sitting down. Y'all made it look like you couldn't do it because it's bad, whereas there's videos saying it's good for your prostrate, it's good for your I'm like, how am I supposed to lead these dudes? I'm still learning, and I feel that whole leadership thing was thrusted on me early. So I guess when I read those aspects in my life path number, I'm like, I repel it real quick, like, nah, because it's too much, and especially in this particular cycle or temporary cycle we're in. Funny enough, before I dipped out of religion completely from Christianity, the the one character and story I connected with, not even Jesus. Jesus, I cried for when I was a lot younger. I cried when I watched It's not the Passion because the Passion wasn't out by then, unless I was a time traveler and brought the Passion to my family and we watched it on VHS because I did some weird technology reset, converting HD or 4K or Blu-ray to VHS. No, maybe in a different timeline I did in a different parallel Earth, but in this Earth, I don't know how many Jesus's stories are out there, but I watched the main one with the sunken cheeks, Caucasian dude. You guys know him. This it's a typical face. Like when you say Jesus, the movie, not Passion. This guy just pops into your mind like word association. It's the image of him, sunken cheeks. You know his face. And when he got put on the cross, I wailed, man. And I remember my mom sitting right in front of me, and this is gonna sound weird, right? But she liked that I was crying because it touched me. So she was touched that the story touched me. Then I was pissed. I was like, "Oh, whoever did that to these dudes should get their ass." I mean, I didn't say it like that, but they should get their ass beat up. I was like, "Yeah, they should suffer for that." And she's like, "Oh, it's a very long time ago, and best believe they suffered." I'm like, "Yeah, but still, it felt like I don't know why I took the movie like it was today, even though I knew it wasn't. It hit me so hard. I think that's the only story in terms of the Bible story I ever connected with visually for the movie stuff and cried about when it came to Moses. Moses, that was the one that I was like, something ain't right here. Something ain't right here. This whole that got me with Jesus, but this is different. This is very different. This dude was just chilling. Then somebody's like, "Yo," I mean, I abbreviate I like making fun of this, not in an insulting way, but just I put humor. I guess that's my way of coping or whatever. I keep saying he was straight chilling, enjoying his life, even though the life around him was built with pain and suffering and enslaved people. But if you're just looking at it from an angle, it's just sweet. You wake up in the morning, people feeding you grapes. What more could you ask for? Straight gravy. And this dude is not my biological brother, but we brothers. This is how humanity should be. We should be this close. We're not even biological, but we tight. I got the perks of royalty. I ain't got royal blood in me, whatever that looks like underneath a microscope. But that's another thing for another day. So yeah, until whatever happened, and you got this voice like, "Yo, you need to leave home, man. Leave. Who in the hell's talking? This is God, bro. Who the? What you mean this is God? This is so many gods out here. This is the main one, man. Please, you ain't even said hi since I was born. It's today you want to come and talk to me? I beg. So long story short, the whole let my people go. He left the whole royal lifestyle and said, "Oh, this dude said we gotta let these people go." Who the hell is this dude, Moses, bro? We've been chilling for ages, man. We've been happy with our life. You out here. What are you smoking? What are you hitting, man? What are you sipping on? You ate that shit last night. Now you tripping, talking about you hearing voices. I don't like this, Moses. Cut. Let's get you on the detox. I don't like this conversation you were giving. Who is talking to you? You trying to set you up right now, trying to split us up as brothers? So that story really wound me up, man. And my mother could never give me the anecdote I needed in regards to that story. It was then my mind just like then. And I remember it was that experience and Matrix. That Moses story and Matrix, I was like, we good. There must have been other, list of movies or plethora of things. But like I said in my live yesterday, I am a visual learner, so I found movies to be very informative, straightforward, and revealing. And no, I didn't binge watch nonfiction, sci-fi, whatever, and took it as historical events. But still, I would just observe a thing and be like, "There's a whole lot of colors here and numbers, but that one right there, that's truth." So I see what they've done. It's storytelling. And whether, one could say the intention is to confuse, for sure, you can get a list of movies and say, okay, this movie was made with propaganda, fear, programming, whatever you want to say. But you can just look right in between them and be like, that one right there, that's truth. How do you know? I don't, yeah, y'all can see, you can't see that right there. It's there. You can't even hear it. It's like it's looking right at me. So I've had those experiences and still be having them now. And even before having those experiences, when you're sitting, you're lonesome, and you're hearing a voice, even though the story for Moses, for example, is 40-day fasting, 40-night fasting, a bush lit up with flame. Did they specifically say it was a blue flame? Anyway, talking burning bush. I related so much with Moses. I was like, yo, that's why I don't like this firstborn leadership role thing. It's just been thrusted upon me rather than just becoming into it and just be like, yo, I like this. I'm the firstborn, look after my siblings. It's not like I hated my siblings or anything. It's just I didn't get to be a child fully growing up. It's just firstborn. You got to do this. You don't cry. Do your homework. I for sure know that my um, upbringing had a role to play or part to play with my dislike. I won't say dislike, maybe dislike, or my distasteful experience with school. Certain schools I went to growing up back home, they were cool, but the educational part, because it just felt like socializing. Different friends, different culture, different languages, pardon me, different backgrounds. But the educational part sucked, really sucked. So trying to find, I guess you could say, escapism. Movies help me with escapism and just seeing the world through its true language, the way it's been projected to us. I always used to wonder as well how TV came into being or came into play in our part of the world in Nigeria. Because we had Nigerian shows growing up and we do now, but it's not like everything you watch on TV was all Caucasians. We had Nigerian shows, comedy, and everything else, even Nigerian storytelling, Nigerian stories, Nigerian cartoons. Did we have Nigerian cartoons? I think we did. But we still watch a lot of American influence shows and movies, British influence shows and movies. Shoot, when I first came to this country, my brother and I just blurted out the accent and it just stuck. It worked. To the extent that when my mom came to join us, she's like, "How did y'all pick up the accent so quick?" We were like, "We don't really know, I guess TV." But I knew in the back of my head it was definitely TV because we used to play around with accents so much that it made sense. Then as I got older and Googled all the shows we used to watch back home and realized that there were, BBC programs, I was like, holy crap, we were actually watching programs made for here that were projected onto us as well. You could argue that was part of the programming, part of the propaganda. Damn, the whole colonization thing, boy. Boy, you tag that on to religion as well. Mm-mm. So the Moses story I really connected to when that whole leadership role thing of let my people go. When they got to the Red Sea, everybody's like, you see, man, we should have been, sat where we were at. We were suffering there, but at least we ain't stuck here trying to figure out where to go. Look at them boys. They're on their chariots. They're coming. They got bows, arrows, and spears. Moses, you suck for this, man. You a douchebag for this, bro. You should have left us straight alone. That part pissed me off. I was like, nah. Remember when I told my mom the story? She's like, no. I think you're missing the moral. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm missing the moral. I think I'm seeing it clearly for once that this thing is bogus. The setup was too much. If the part of the story wasn't told that at one point or multiple times when the voice of God would speak to Moses, he would also go to Pharaoh and be like, yo, word out on the street is Moses trying to take your luxury, fam. All them people who built these pyramids, your whole temples, your house, your home, architects, sculptors, engineers, trying to rob you of all these people so he can build his own empire. I mean, he didn't say it straight like that in the Bible, but it's the double talk I didn't like. I was like, why would God do that? Then it's the whole, you're being tested. Test, bitch. Man, if you just stuck talking to Moses and then Pharaoh had it was just his choice to say yay or nay. Then it'd been a cool story, nice little moral thing, even though what he did with the enslaved people was bad. Bad. Not giving any excuses. Pharaoh still said, I don't know, man, but I can't harm my brother. And whatever this is important, we'll learn from this. Plus, then plagues was real. We didn't all dream that together. That locust wasn't no nightmare of my own. We all saw that. We all experienced it. So it's real. So whatever, talking was one thing. One plague, fluke. Two, maybe Moses got powers too, like my priest. 4 plagues, 6, 8. Bruh, go. Sorry, be cool. But that double speak, I was like, I even once told my mom, I said, if you had deliberately held that information from me, I'd have bought the story and I wouldn't have minded. But the fact that it's in the book and you didn't make it up, and you're telling me that this divine force spoke A to one guy and W to another guy. Yeah, I was like, we good on this one. Then she's like, okay, well, if you're not going to follow Christianity, you might as well do the Islam. I'm like, no. I always make a joke saying because of how we were taught Islam growing up, it made it easier for me to be like, Assalamu alaikum, we out. We good. We don't need it. It wasn't taught in a very loving manner. Maybe that's the importance, or that's one of the ways you can pass on religion if you teach it well, if you teach it from your understanding. But even that too, because you're teaching a confusing text with the confused mind to a very innocent, rooted mind to the maker. You're talking to a child. This children have come out pure, straight from the source, mind beaming, a giga omega tron frequency of the mind just pumping. How do you think we get all these gadgets and tools if the mind was numb? You think we're gonna be producing all this great stuff, this camera, microphone, all the tech we've produced even before now, the great stuff we don't made eons ago. This is what we got now is basic stuff. Basic. We're talking pineal glands. Just you can hear each other's pineal glands just pumping. That's what we're talking. Primus, human primal at our peak. Correct. Peak. You have to raise your body weight at our peak. Nah. What we got now is below standard. It's not even in kindergarten. We were making pyramids in kindergarten. In our wombs, we were doing light years calculation. We were teleporting from different galaxies in mother's wombs. And when she gets the kick, that's when we just teleport back into a room. Oh, baby kicked. Yeah, we just came back from different planets, mom. I'm talking about baby kicked. Sure, whatever. Nah, please. What we got now is basic. So you're teaching a text is confusing to a mind that's asking questions. Why? So you say Adam and Eve had two children, right? Yeah. Okay. When the one killed the other one and he ran away, it's three people left, right? Yeah. But it said this guy when he ran away got married to who? Oh, now you see there what had happened was maybe once you say maybe to a child, and you're telling this book is law, cosmic law, truth, no lie, no manipulation. The only mistake would be the way you interpret or you narrate the story. And then the child's like, oh, this is so cool so far. So far. And let's say it's a brown child. You see, Adam and Eve was Caucasian, right? Yeah. Okay, where did we come from? Well, cursed children of Ham and then okay, well, so we were cursed. But can I curse? Can I curse myself to look like Adam and Eve? Children will reveal truth to you, boy. And it makes sense because if you see where they're coming from, you can't snap your fingers and create a child. So they're coming from somewhere. And where that somewhere they're coming from is clear, they're very, very close to that somewhere in that stage. Hence, when they're asking you questions, you can give them correct, pure, direct answers. They'll be like, it's a mess. You don't know. Who actually wrote this stuff in the first place? Actually, how did this even come into your? Where did you buy this book? Who made this book? Who published this book? Well, some people brought it in. Do they know the answer then? Like, before they brought it in, what were y'all doing? Ooh, that's big boy questions right there. They say, well, we were barbaric and we're fighting each other. All of y'all? How come everybody else doesn't find children will drill you questions? They will give you questions you will not forget. And I wasn't even allowed to ask any questions. Thankfully, with my son, he would ask me some deep ass questions. I'm like, yo, I'm glad you're asking me these questions at this age so we can sit down and talk properly. So sci-fi stuff is no joke for us, man. I let my son know infinity. Whatever your mind can fathom infinity. There are cosmic rules, the same way we breathe. You could say, oh, maybe the air we breathe is an illusion. You can maybe your asshole the way you want, but you cannot on illusion breathe in air for this body to sustain itself, for the lungs and everything, how it functions. But I feel for sure, yeah, all the combined experiences in my childhood really helped me say, yeah, religion, nah, it's not for me. It's not the way forward. And then with the undertone of ADHD that runs in my family, actually, a lot of us. I wonder if my grandmother was ADHD. Damn, that'd be cool to ask my mom. Never thought of that. Well, I assume she was because no, hold on, let me do the maths properly. On my mother's side, there's four of them. My mother's the second. My uncle, her brother, of course, is the first. Then we have another brother. So brother, sister, brother, sister. That's the pattern. Firstborn, secondborn be my mother, thirdborn be my another uncle, and fourthborn being another auntie. Looking at the whole ADHD thing, my mom has it, of course. The lastborn, my auntie, has it. Because my cousin has it, or has aspects of it. My other cousins have it. So, yeah, damn. That means it must run in the family heavily. Then it would just be to figure out who has it in my ancestral frequency on my mother's side, meaning either my mother's mother or my mother's father, because he passed away early. But in terms of me having it and my siblings having it, both my parents have it. Mom also has dyslexia. So all those traits coming down. And just why I said yesterday in my live that colonialism, this word, you know what I'm trying to say? That word has a big role to play in terms of the displacement of my people's way of being and the information we already have, not only innately, but would have accumulated over the years. This is the downside about streaming with the camera here whilst the thing is here. My computer's here. I didn't even know people were chatting. My bad, Constance. I see you done dropped so many comments. Give me a second. Uno momentos. Momentos uno. My little camera gear, by the way. This right here. You mount this on anything, it stays sturdy. This is what YouTube should be telling you to be buying all the time. Not all this nonsense crap you're throwing. Okay, let me read the comments real quick. I didn't even know comments are coming through. I saw something blinking in the corner of my eye, but I had no idea. The Constance as per usual. I love when she every time she types, she wastes time. Just tick, 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 tick. She's like the little legs in that that bird in the Surf's Up movie. I didn't know you were here. I think she's gone to gym now. She's supposed to be going to the gym earlier on. Should be more inclusive. That's true. Some things you really shouldn't be shared. Ah, that's she seconds that notion. Then there were times I was like, oh, it'd be nice to share this, but I think life path number and your three major like your zodiac placements. A lot of people share theirs, and it's cool. I wouldn't tell people you shouldn't share, but when it comes to mine, I'm like, I'm very picky who I share that with. Like your sun, moon, and rising. Is that what it's called? Sun, moon, and rising. And people just share theirs quick. I guess sometimes it helps, especially when it's women. They don't mind sharing theirs to men who are in that same line because that's how they can figure out who they can talk to, or who they'll gel with, right? Whereas if someone has placements that don't align with theirs, it makes it easier to just be like, my guy, it's cool. Pardon me. Think in the case of leadership you choose to be. No, that's a good point. I like that one. I like that one very, very much. Yeah, I think choosing to be a leader is different rather than being told. I don't rush to if it's there to be done. I prefer co-leadership, but to run like leadership position, no, you must be crazy. You will not catch me doing that. No, siree, Bob. Behind the scenes, sometimes like is a dope magician is awesome, but to be in your face saying talking about nah, because if people ain't listening, that thing jaws me, man. Whereas if we're in a like an X-Men thing, we're in a community and we're all in tune with each other. Yeah, straightforward. I mean, sometimes even when I do like gaming sessions, if we're playing particular games like co-op games or four-player games, yeah, sometimes I'd be like, okay, y'all don't know about you guys, but I want to play this mission and kick this boss's ass. So can we, you know, let's get a strategy going. Maybe I might drop one or two of the leadership aspect, but to say, guys, let's rally the troops. No, I'm very picky with who I even play with online. If you're not here in sync, we're not moving like a hive mind unit. Oh boy, no sir. Remember when I used to stream a lot with my brother on Uncharted? People like, oh, can we play with you? We're like, yeah, that sounds cool, but no, if you don't have your skills together, and we're going against douchebags online who's throw racial slurs and any and everything, especially if they're streaming on their TikToks, for example, or Twitch. You want us to look like douchebags on their stream? No, 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 no. You have to come correct. You want to have like a fun play, you play another game on weekends. But when it comes to Uncharted, you guys played so fun. Yeah, because we're brothers, one, and we take it seriously enough because we know we're going to come across a-holes all the time. We got to be on our A game. And we're always improving and growing. But to play with randoms who have requested to play with us, that's where the leadership be like, okay, I can stop fooling around. We gotta do it properly. I know we're playing the game, but can't play too much hee hee ha ha. We here to just murk these dudes. But yeah, I think I've already veered off of my point many times. No, I'm still on my point, my ADHD point. I'm on the journey now to find out what that looked like for us as a people. In my family, for sure, observing my family, the elders, my siblings, my nephews, nieces, my son, and then my cousins, just to see the similar traits and where they flare up or where they show up, and to see if we can all have the conversation around this topic and not see it as a bad thing, because that's one of the reasons I despised school so much. I did not learn the same way everyone else was learning. My goodness. You teach somebody something in class, 2 plus 2, they will get it. 4 times 4, they will get it. 16 divided by this, MC squared, they were picking it up. I was like, how? what level of pounded yam are you guys eating that you guys are getting what's being given? Because I'm not getting it. I'm struggling to pick this thing up, and I'm like, what's popping right now, man? This is something else. Just to the extent I genuinely thought my intelligence was like below zero, like dunce. No joke. Especially when you're called dunce by your teacher, sadly, your family members or your parents. Hey, that's the cycle we grew up in, man. Stupid, foolish, silly. So many, and imagine growing up with that embedded in your psyche. And this is what I was saying in my live yesterday. You all these words like psyche, subconscious, subliminal, they're external words to describe a thing that already exists, right? I definitely remember in school, I do not remember in school for sure being taught those aspects. Your brain, your heart, your organs, your lungs, whatever it is, we're taught the human anatomy. But to say they're parts of your mind or psyche, even the word psyche, I would have picked those words up either from a movie or a cartoon. But to say in school, and if it's in school, maybe it was the way it was taught that my brain didn't hold on to it. It's like, here we go, another silly class session where I won't pick up information and just drop it. But coming to this country, not saying they taught it better here, because here's the kicker. The curriculum here, or the way school was taught back home, was picked up from here because of the invasion of our people from people here, or from the ancestry of these people here, or Europeans and Caucasians and whatnot, those who orchestrated all the bullshit. And even how I'm skipping over it is interesting, because I would like to bleed the heck out of that topic, because it really messes with a lot of people's progression. So recently, I started to say to myself, I wonder what we would have called ADHD as a people before we were invaded, before we were disturbed, before our progress was cut short or temporarily halted. What word or words or terminology would we have given for people with minds like mine, or the ways we learn? Imagine a space or spaces where you're learning about life. I imagine there'll be different spaces dedicated to how the mind operates. That's why I'm so drawn and tethered to what's this thing again? X Men, the Avengers, mutants, especially the X Men, because it's like this is special school, and that's why I love the story of Magneto and Xavier. I don't see one or the other. It's only when it's portrayed a particular way in a movie or cartoon, meaning someone says, I want to focus on this particular part of Magneto, and then they tell a story like this. I'm like, that don't make no sense how you've portrayed it. If you're going from the origin story and you're slingshotting them to their current age, or in their elder years, that middle part is, you want to leave it vague, because what Magneto experienced would inform how he would treat others around him, or humans around him, especially based on how they treat him. You already have a fixed thing like, yeah, these dudes are putrid, but doesn't mean I'm just go around slapping every human being. I know I know my stance is at. I would just chill, straight chill, see what they do. They're gonna step up eventually, and it's not like he's gonna project it into the universe, and universe to show him, or like people say, if you think negative thoughts, you're gonna pull those people into your experiences. Nah, you're talking about the environment, the government, the people, how they think. Magneto is coming from a place of saying these people have been bred a particular way. They're not even born anymore, or they're not even coming out into their own anymore. Whereas mutants are coming out realizing, oh, I can shoot beams from my eyes, and I can levitate, I can fly. And because you don't understand that, you're afraid of that. Then the question is, okay, what have you done to be afraid of that? Like, where does the fear come from? That person is as you are. That person isn't afraid of you. They're just about as shook up of themselves as anything, like, oh, I can fire plasma beams from my freaking palm. Help. So they're already in distress, but you're projecting fear. Like, okay, we need to put those guys in cages, or we need to figure out what they can do, or put them in an industry where they can cut metal. This is still a person with just interesting abilities. So I can see where Magneto will come from. Like, nah, we need to take care of our own kind. It just makes sense. And Xavier's like, yo, a lot of ADHD people, we use mutants as ADHD, for example. We replace it and say, there's many ADHD people out there. We need to put them under one roof, and then learn to teach and harness their powers. And then so that they can go back into the world and be who they're here to be or who they want to be. And then I can pull in other humans and say, yo, these ADHD people aren't bad people. They look different. One is tall, one is short, skin is different, texture is different. They're still people. They still have organs as you do. They just move different. They just want to be and to live. So I got very, very connected and drawn to X-Men for many reasons, and that one stood out to me a lot. I was like, it would be cool to have a dope center, a Xavier School of Learning for ADHD people, and most importantly, because I'm obviously brown, African descendant, African. I know I said African. Anyway, what does that look like for a space just for us? Not saying seclude and
This is all mine. No one else should join. It's you. You're not invited. You're not welcome.
no. The ADHD things I'm seeing a lot these days, especially on Instagram and all other social media platforms. A lot of non-Africans talking about their experiences. I've yet to see. I guess that's why I'm speaking on it. Yet to see, even if it's the group of Caucasians or Chinese, Japanese, whatever group of people, ADHD experience is a very unique, specific thing. But also, what does it look like for other people who were also invaded and their progression got interrupted before that invasion? What were you guys calling ADHD? Because it's like it's having a resurgent thing now, because before people were shat on for being different. Oh, he's always daydreaming. That's one thing they used to give me a lot in school. He doesn't pay attention. He's always daydreaming. Yeah, because I've seen light years into the future. Douchebags, you small-minded cow. When you realize it, you're like, oh, if you told me, oh, Einstein was ADHD, of course he was. You guys worship this dude so much. You threw him in our classrooms. We were learning about people before we were learning about our own people in our own countries, in our own soil. And then fast forward years after you belittle people who think like me, who operate like me, of course, Einstein. Of course he was ADHD. Of course he was neurodivergent. Let me guess, Tesla too? Oh yeah, Tesla was high. Of course Tesla. Let me guess, Picasso? Of course Picasso. It's like they just churn out these information. But you guys forget the pain you've caused so many people. You've caused a lot of pain, a lot of deaths, a lot of self-termination. People like, yo, this whatever this mutant thing is too much. There's no place to go to say, oh, by the way, this is how I learn. Oh yeah, this place is built just for you, so we can explore that and improve on that. So you can create avenues for other people like yourself as well. You can create tech that's specific to your people or your kind, and there's nothing wrong with that, because you're being unique in that segment. You're not saying it's exclusive only to these people, but you're saying, hey, you need assistance, you like me, boom. Whereas people who don't take the time to even master that, hence the whole hate for mutants in the story. Oh, we don't like the fact that there's somebody who can shoot beams out of his eyes. He ain't coming to your house to do nothing to you. Yeah, but the fact that he exists right there, that's the key. The fact that something exists that's different from you, instead of you to learn how to fathom it, you're saying you're shook up of it. Then the whole schooling system is based on a default thing that doesn't include the different ways different people learn. And when you question that system, then you're challenged, or you're told you're disruptive or you're lazy or whatever. But I'm like, this is the thing we're supposed to be using to understand ourselves, each other, and others, and the world, which you call a school. Whatever term it used to be called, you've dubbed it a school. You've dubbed it education. Surely in this education, there should be segments where you learn the basic of human anatomy in the physical, mental, spiritual form and beyond. That's too much. We'll just do math, English, science, and you can choose your language, do major, minor. That's why all these questions I ask, I always wonder, before all these bullshit occurred, I wonder how educational systems were run in different civilizations that were at their peak. Even when they were fluctuating, they were, dipping and rising, they were failing and rising. And that's beautiful as well, because once you learn what not to do, you be like, all right, okay, cool. Not supposed to be touching those fruits. You need to wait for the season before those fruits are ready. And that's how you grow. Like I said earlier on, you ain't got to be building and innovating all the time. You can just still stay chill, maintain until it's a natural cycle to progress again. Continue that pattern. So that's how I've come to be now that I am, with so many questions in my head. And I was thinking to myself, oh, you can't put these things out on video for my, they'll think you're local. I'm like, nah. Now, what I truly am, no. In the past, I used to think, you're not ready. Sound like a little egotistical thing. You're not ready. And I realized, yeah, some of them are. And so am I. So instead of waiting for y'all to catch up, we'll bring you to the show. And then we'll lay the beds down for you guys to sleep and meditate, and your pineal glands just be beaming. You get it eventually. We did it once, did it before. We'll do it again. And we'll always continue to do it. If you told me now that most of the great inventions were built by neurodivergent people, I wouldn't be surprised. Does it mean we're better than y'all? No. An apple doesn't sing its praise that it's sweeter than a pear. Nor does a pineapple sing its praise that it's sweeter than the apple and the pear. It just is a pineapple. Nor does a coconut boast and say, oh, yeah, okay, cool, you're sweet, you're juicy, but I'm the juiciest one. Nor does a cashew say, nah, oh, yeah, talking all this shit. I'm the sweetest fruit there ever is. Nah. Cashew does its thing, coconut does its thing, apple does its thing. They all serve their purpose. It's a douchebag that says this one is better than the other that needs to have his tongue cut out. Or her, if it's a lady that says that, yeah, this one is better. You guys is talking shit. We'll make this a staple thing. We'll tell the world that you must only produce this fruit and not this other fruit. That's when you're like, that person is stupid. It's the interference of natural state of things. There's my TED talk about being neurodivergent. I'm not done yet. No, I've just begun. I've just started. It's about to go down. Because we need to get back to that center. All of us, man. Everybody needs to stop minding their own business and become who and what they are. This is my becoming. Or should I say this is an aspect of my becoming? There might be some, maybe down the line, I'd be like, this YouTube was a beautiful journey. We out and cut it all off. Or whatever service I can bring to others, then yeah. I don't remember seeing anyone who's talking about these things the way I'm talking about it. Or maybe I haven't scoured the internet or the YouTubes or the Vimeos or the TikToks and the X's and the Instagrams and all of these other extensions of video. Maybe the plethora of people talking about it, I'm just another guy in the pipeline. Maybe not. But I'm glad to be adding to the conversation nonetheless. Like Sister Jolie, the artist, yeah, she has some beautiful, beautiful conversations. I'm just here to understand all these things without having too much being thrown at me. So that way life is much smoother. It's been too confusing lately. All these buzzwords and terms, too confusing. And a lot of us are becoming too segregated and too separated from each other. Whereas when you realize, we're supposed to be as one, right? It's the whole point of existence, to just be what we are and who we are. And then get back to that connection of the Most High. However you choose to call it. Jesus, Jehovah, if that's your thing, that's your thing. There's too much confusion, man. To cut that shit out. People are coming back and going back home, be like, yo, coming through the womb, they're born, like what? And then they pass out like, yeah, just send me back home. It's too much. Some people even detour in the womb process. When I hear the amount of how many stillborns or how many babies have chosen to cut their cycles short during their pregnancy cycle or their cycle in their mother's womb, whichever one. To me, how I see that or how that is revealed to me is like, yeah, some people like, like between me and my two siblings from my mother's side, we would have been 4. And when I heard of my sister, between myself and my brother, she came and left. I was like, imagine what she chose to. One, you could argue she chose to have that experience of just materializing, like, okay, this is what it feels like. All right, cool, we good. We already materialized before, but I just wanted to materialize now and then dip. So when my mom told me the story, I was like, yo, she must have been like, this family is something else. Older brother, you got this. We outie. Much love. I'm like, what you mean much? Sit your ass. Yeah, maybe I will need that backup, man. I will need that side by side. We're gonna be like, yo, we're gonna delegate. She was like, nah, I got work to do upstairs. Oh, you think I don't want to do work upstairs too? Come, how do you come and sit down, stop joking? She's like, no, I'm being for real. Someone told me, I was like, ah, damn. No wonder I've always had this need, as if knowing that I innately knew but suppressed it or I forgot or whatever. So her telling me the story was just a reminder, like, oh no. No wonder I always wanted this side by side co-op partner with me, like, yo, we about to do this thing. We good? You think we no? Okay, no. She said no. Yes? All right, cool. Just that like when you're talking to yourself and you're delegating, like, not like the devil on your shoulder and the angel. Two minds are better than one, they say. That whole aspect, like you want to talk to your other half, your second, your partner in crime, like we got this. Chill, chill. Okay, cool. I'm about to go off on uncle right now. Go off? No. Okay, cool. Go off now? All right, cool. Say, listen, uncle, you talking a lot of talking too much shit. Sister said pop you in the lip, man. So I learned from then. I was like, no wonder. That's why I wasn't really lusting for this leadership position. But anyway, I'm done for now. For now, I'm done for now. I think I should go play some Returnal or God of War, one of the two. Let me let this live stream settle. It's not even going to settle. It's going to settle, and I'll probably do another one tomorrow or Sunday. Get used to this, so I don't have to do this test nonsense every time. I'm enjoying this, man. It's almost one thing to talk about these topics whilst I'm gaming, but I feel sat down on the camera, with my little dope art piece there by Sister Constance. The Constance. Check her out on Instagram, by the way, at Constance Prince. One more time, if you can see the art. Is my hand blocking it? Let me just put my hand down. This thing right here. I don't know how it's going to be shown on display. This thing right here was designed and printed and painted. Printed? My bad. Painted. My bad. Painted by Constance Prince on Instagram. Check her out and tell her I sent you. She'll be like, oh, how do you guys find me? The Cosmic Jedi sent us. We're here to hail thee. Yes. Yes, indeed. Well, I have been your one and only host, your beautiful ADHD, neurodivergent, neurospicy host, the Cosmic Jedi. Signing out. Couldn't hold it. I almost pulled it off. I would have pulled up. I think it would have been too much fluctuation. Yeah, almost pulled it off. I got that from your boy. What's his name? Lee Evans. Awesome comedian. Awesome comedian. This garage needs cleaning. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. I'm outie. Now, how do I transition from here to the computer to end this stream without making it awkward and weird? But we like it being awkward and weird, don't we? Click end stream. Will it cut straight away? No, it comes up with a little pop up on the screen, making you linger on the screen for too long. That's what she said.